But gather unto him all nations, and heap up unto him all peoples. Shall not all these take up a parable against him?
So America has gathered all these nations under its talents, in the same spirit of Rome and the same spirit of Babylon. And how did it do it? Through deception. All right, and also through their dollar, which is nothing but witchcraft, a lie. See that? And all these nations have become weakened by that. All right, go ahead.
And a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Yeah, all these nations like, yo, you know what? You boasting, Trump, but everything you got there, China, we made it for you. Everything. So now China putting tariffs on all the goods coming from China in the trade war. You know, all these nations, Russia, everybody, they all saying, hey man, y'all a little prideful over there, ain't you? Let's make y'all a third world country. Now America has become that third world country. It's it. This is a third world country. All you gotta do is go out to Walmart and you can see it. You'll see the prices, you'll see the people, you'll see Jake at the Walmart in slippers and shit. They don't look like they own farms. They don't look like traders. They just look like servants.
That's funny because if America was supposed to go back to the barter system, half of Jake wouldn't know what to have nothing to trade.
That's right, man.
Like, what is the Jake woman gonna trade? Sex? That's the only thing she has to offer.
That's it.
Half of these women don't know how to boil water. You know, and half of these Jakes out here, they don't know how to plant crops. These dudes don't know how to plant crops. They don't know how to farm. They don't know how to hunt. They don't know how to fish. They don't know how to do any of these things that you see Esau doing all the time. So if it was to go back to a free trade barter system, Jake wouldn't be able to do nothing.
It says, how long, and to him that leadeth himself with thick clay. All right, and when you go into the word clay means debt, man, because America is in thick debt, man.
Right.
All right, the economy is crashing. All right, you see the Dow Jones. All right, it's gonna crash, man, because why? Yahweh Shem Yahushua has spoken it through his prophets, man.
Yeah, and it already crashed.
Gone.
That's the thing. The Dow already crashed. The market has already crashed. You had a crash from October to December. It crashed. Now we're moving into what you call a rally, to where all the sales from Christmas and they bullshit holidays come back in, and they evaluate that, you know, and they regulate that back down to wherever it needs to be. Now you have the dollar moving in from $98, it went down to 93, all right, per share, and now it's scheduled to go down to 92 by February. If they do that, they're out of the rally. All right, going into a bear market for the dollar now. At the same time, while cryptocurrency is going into a bull market, going past a rising wedge, going into it's at like 3,882 right now per coin. As of January 1st, it's at 83. As of January 1st, it was like 3,889. So it dropped. The value is increasing.
And I noticed the little Habib stores and the Arab stores around the neighborhood I live in, right? On every sign I've noticed now you can buy Bitcoins there.
Yeah.
And they're putting in ATMs where you can transfer your currency from the dollar to the Bitcoin, and you can set up your own. You can set up your entry into the blockchain system through those machines.
Right, man. And the blockchain system is nothing but a ledger-based system. All right. Once you enter into it, it's going to track your existence. Anywhere you deal with that currency, we call it a currency, or the monetary system, which is called cryptocurrency. Blockchain is basically a ledger or a file that's created once you enter into it. And everywhere you go, any move that's made dealing with you is going to be logged and open for the public to view.
Mm-hmm.
All right? So that's what basically is set up for the RFID chip, you damn idiots. You know? And what's the contrast to that? would be the straw man system, where they have your social security number. They track you now, everything you do. But can they track it if I go buy some chicken from a person that's selling meat on the street? They want all of that. They want taxes from all of that. They want every bit of everything that moves, any transaction made, they want to know what's up. They want money from it. So if you get the chip, that's how they're going to track you. All right? Where we at? That was doing debt. So America is laden with thick clay, with debt, man. So all these nations looking at America like, yo, you the great whore, and you got all them riches, you ain't shit, bitch. Excuse my language, I had to say it like that. Like, you ain't shit. Like, your pimp made you that rich.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, the pimp is the Illuminati. And they're going to come down with great wrath and strip the whore naked. And all the little critters, what they call crabs, right? Like the great whore got crabs or some shit. And that's Jake. Once he gets stripped naked, that's all you're going to see is nothing but little critters running all over her fucking body.
That's crazy.
Exposed.
They had a documentary on pimps on the other day, and basically you have the bottom bitch. That's the main chick that the pimp deal with, right? What happens when she gets old and she's not useful anymore? That's what's happening with America. See, America's not useful no more to the Illuminati and the elite right there. So what are they doing? They're getting rid of her, all right, and coming form into a new system. All right, and that new system, that blockchain system that Elder was just talking about, yeah, it tracks everything. All your information, as far as your name, your medical records. It even has the technology of tracking devices so they can track wherever you go. So won't no kind of transaction be done without the government knowing about it. Meaning they have all eyes on everything, planning to play the act of the Most High, man. Claiming to be the Most High.
Right. Hey, you can break the scripture down too.
Okay.
Alright, this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 13, verse 26. Therefore will I discover thy skirts upon thy face, that thy shame may appear.
So the Most High is like, every time the great whore has a skirt pulled down, right? The men of the Lord come out here and speak against the so-called white man being the devil. That's lifting up their nakedness. That's showing their shame. But they try to hide it through with all their philosophies and everything.
Yeah, and literally, the natural correction of the market is going to expose America for the debt that it really holds, and the poverty that it's really in, and the conditions that it's really in, and the value of the dollar that it has no value, and that they should pull away from it, that they've been deceived this whole time. Go ahead, brother.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin is revealed, the son of perdition.
All right, so you had that son of perdition. You have Judas, that was the son of perdition during the time of Yahushua, and who's the son of perdition right now? All right, the so-called white man, the elite. The elite, they're the son of perdition. All right, they built the system. Now they're destroying that system, man. And all their nakedness and wickedness is being exposed. All right. What did it say? It shall be a witness unto you. All right. All the wickedness that they've done is being a witness unto them right now, man. They're being exposed.
Right. The prophecies are a witness against you. Camera. Get him. 28:1. Yeah.
All right. This is the book of Sirach. He was finished.
21 and 8.
21.
Right there.
I got this up. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 9, verse 23. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, let not the wise man glory in his wisdom,
Right.
neither let the mighty man glory in his might."
Yeah. You can break it down. You can break it down.
All right. "Let not the rich man glory in his riches,
Oh, I got it.
but let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord." So the Most High can't delight in the so-called white man, because you know, just like the elder just said, we have to also measure them according to the standards of this book, right? And they don't match up to these standards. So they have no room to glory. The glory is coming from their pride, man. because the riches that they got by deceit, right? Is being a witness against them. People are getting tired of being robbed by America and the so-called white man.
Right. And that's what they call the serpent. Because they grovel in the dirt, they grovel in the dust and sin and blindness, you know, and they They bite you with their damn teeth, with their lies, with their words, and they sink their poison in, which is their imagination, their thoughts, deception. And also, they're a low being laying on the belly, and all they can do is lift up their head. But they still down there on the fucking ground. That's a prideful damn animal.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is Rock, chapter 10, verse 7. Pride is hateful before the Most High and man.
Right, so the Lord hates the so-called white race, man. The Lord hates 2/3 of our people that are doing self-worship in this society. Do as thou wilt. Alright? Calling themselves 5%ers, God body. You ain't nobody, man.
Nobody.
Till the Lord says so.
And by both do one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings and injuries and riches got by deceit.
Yep. Esau, so-called white man, you got all your riches by deceit. Alright? So all the riches in this place of America were gotten by deception. They gathered all the people here to this place by deception. They came and took this place by deception. And this place is going to fall by deception, man.
They raised the dollar by deception.
That's right, man. The dollar is deception. Go ahead, brother.
It says, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Right, the so-called white man, this was their kingdom ever since the time of the Greeks. All the way till the Romans. All the way till today. The pagan empire has been ruling, man. That's what we're going to focus on. Whenever you think of Esau, you think pagan. You think Greece, Rome, all that is just a pagan empire. That's it.
And then the crazy part about it, say how they didn't want to mix with the Vikings and everything because they said that they were pagans. But bitch, you a pagan yourself.
That's just like today. They don't want to mix with Russia and all that. You know. Satan divided against Satan, that's when they fell. And look, the Lord's trying to show them that.
Yeah, and then they say they didn't want to mix with Russia and these other nations because of communism.
Yeah.
Come on, what is this? What is this? More of like a, you would think communism would probably be more pleasing to the public than a dictatorship like America has set up, man.
This is a capitalist society. Built off capitalism.
Quick interjection on that. And this 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Because they play as God.
That's right, man. Oh, yeah, I got something to say on that too. Go ahead.
Who oppresseth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he is as God, sitteth in the temple of God,
right,
showing himself that he is God.
Right. And that's like 100-fold scripture, and we'll start with Diocletian. Diocletian called himself God. Like literally, he called himself Lord Power. You know? And then today, America has set themselves up as God. Or they set their dollar up as God. Where they put their faces on it where it says, in God we trust. See that? And the word God just means power. So they set themselves, the so-called white race, and whatever they built, America, Europe, Rome, Russia, all these places and governments that they built, you know, they set themselves up as what? The power. That's what they say, the man. Job 9:24 says the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. They're giving it to their hands, meaning they have the power over that shit. Alright? But they never give acknowledgement to the true power. See, when the Lord gives us power over this place, we're going to give acknowledgement to the true power. That's the difference between us and you, Esau. Alright? You are stillborn. Should have died as a baby. Stillborn.
He despised his birthright.
He despised his birthright.
And a little bit of blessing that he did get, which was of the sword.
That's right, man. That's right. He despised looking in the mirror. They despised the sunlight.
They were set up for the jump, man.
They were set up for failure from the beginning.
Your birthright was a sword, you know you was powerful. You got the sword, start killing with the sword. You know you kill with the sword, you got to be killed with it.
They born with the spirit of deception, and the Lord hates deception.
And they deceive themselves. That's crazy. All right, let's go back off of what he said. Like they built a society up and putting themselves as being gods, right? But they don't give homage back to the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? No, and when we get set up in the kingdom, because scripture that our brother read earlier, the Most High maketh rich and maketh poor. He bringeth out of the dust and he brings down to the dust.
Right.
All right. So it's like when we get in the kingdom, we're gonna give all the glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai.
Real quick. And you got babies that are born into the society, which were us, and we born into the society. The first notion we see or get of a power or a God is told by the media of the so-called white man. The Charles Heston and Moses in the movie. You got a white man. Michelangelo, the fucking picture of Da Vinci, they got the fucking fingers touching. And it's two white hands, two Edomite hands. And they butt ass naked. The 16th chapel. You know, what else, man? Caesar Borgia.
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, all this bullshit, man.
I remember.
But they set themselves up as God, man.
I remember. We had encyclopedias in the house when I was little, and we used to have a little bookshelf, a book holder that was a man thinking, right? The thinker, right? Back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of people had this in their house.
Plato.
Plato, yeah. So I asked my mom, you know, what does this mean? So basically, she was just in a nutshell, long story short, telling me that, you know, basically it's a sign of being wisdom, being wise. And it was an image of a white dude. So any kind of way they can show themselves as being the power or the ultimate race of people, they'll display that. But then,
300
times, then you try to assert yourself, you know, as being a power nation or anything about it. It's called wickedness.
Yeah, they're gonna shoot you down like Malcolm X.
Like prime example, the dude in Charlotte, the Edomite had a knife towards the Jake neck, and the cops came up. They ain't shoot him, but if it was the other way around, they would have killed Jake.
Right. Or about the security guard. The security guard, a dude pulled out a gun, and security guard ran after dude. The black security guard ran after dude, apprehended him, held him down. He had already shot 3 people, and the police pull up and see a black man on top of a white dude. They killed the security guard.
So what would that mean? Damn. That would mean that there's been a picture painted that we are 3/5 of a man, that we are lesser than humans, and that they call us demons, they call us cursed. Look at what's his name? Book of Mormon.
Yeah, Mormons.
Joseph White. Is that his name?
Yeah, Joseph Smith.
Joseph Smith. Whitey Smith. Joseph Smith. That damn devil. In that book, they call us Canaanites. And they said, "Cursed be Canaan." And they said because of our dark skin. All right?
They call us black.
They call us black, African American, whatever you want to